Today we are going to look at adding and maintaining StarTeam users in a StarTeam server configuration. We're going to look at the user manager. We're going to look at how to create and manage a user, group membership, and how to delete and suspend users. For this example, I'm going to use a StarDraw configuration, which as you can see, I have already started and are logged in under the administrator account. To access the user manager, click on the icon on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You can see we have a series of users already installed and set up under this profile. We have a couple of groups set up, administrators and security administrators, and we have a subgroup of system managers, all of which we're going to look at in this video. So to create a new user, we hit the new user option and we type in the full name of the user itself, their email address, and additional options including phone, voicemail options, pager, fax, and address. These are obviously all optional, but I'll just type in some information at this stage. At the bottom, we also have the option to apply a license to the user itself. We'll talk about this more in a later video, but at the moment, we're just going to give a concurrent license to the user itself. We then move on to the logon information. We can now give an actual user name to the user that we've set up, in this case test user, and we're going to validate through the StarTeam server. We can also use a blank password, however this is not advisable. There's an additional service called LDAP, which would authenticate the user through the use of Active Directory. Again, we will discuss this in a later video. The Access Policy tab relates to how restrictive you can be for the user you're creating. We can give them access for a standard 5-day week, or we can customize the days and hours under which they can access the StarTeam server. For example, we could select a day and a time slot that the user is only allowed to log in to the StarTeam server itself. The Membership tab relates to the groups or group which the user belongs to. In this case, by default, it is in the All Users group automatically under Creation. We will look at adding additional groups later. So that is our user now created, test user. As you can see at the moment, the information is all stored and accessible via the User Properties option when we right click, and we can make changes to all of the information we just typed in. At this point, we're just going to look at adding it to a new group. As you can see here, the administrators and security administrators group is set up. But once added, the user will have to physically log out and log back in again before this membership. So just to look now at testing the user, we're just going to quickly run the cross-platform client. This will allow us to see a number of things. Initially, it will allow us to test that the user has been created successfully, and it will also be able to tell us that the user is being recognized by the StarTeam server as being logged in under a workstation. So we're just going to log into the StarDraw configuration. So we type the username and the password that we created. As you can see now, we can access the StarDraw project under the test view, and we can now go back to the actual user manager, do a quick refresh, and we can now see that we are logged in on 1. This basically means that the test user has been logged in on a machine. If we now go back to the client and log off, it will tell us the test user is logging off from the client, and if we do another quick refresh, we can now see that it is now not logged in on 1 as we have disconnected from the client. If we wish now to look at other options, such as suspend the user, because we do not want this user account to be activated or to be used to log into, we can suspend, and then we just simply reactivate in a case that the user account is valid. We can also change the license, which we talked about at the start of the video, and we will change that according to any needs. If we then feel that we have no further need for the account, we simply select delete user, and the account is gone automatically from the user manager itself. So in this video today, we looked at the user manager, how to create and manage a user, assign that user to a specific group, and how to delete and suspend the user account from the StarTeam configuration.